What's going on, guys? Kivox here, and it's still super echoey in the shop, but at least I have it set up somewhat usable right now. It's not quite there. It's actually still pretty far away, but I have all the tools. Everything's cleaned up. I've already started working on a wand at this point. Just to kind of experiment, and I kind of needed to, I was jonesing to make something after such a long time of not making anything. But right now, I'm just gonna kind of show you guys what I have going on, because it's still a mess, and I'm still trying to figure out the whole echo situation. I'm trying out a lav mic for this right now, so hopefully it's a little bit better. Hopefully we don't have too much like background buzz or anything like that, because like whenever I try to use a lav mic, that's what ends up happening. But let's start off right here. So I haven't really talked about this at all, but a big issue that I had in the shop that I had in the house was that like I just had so much dust, and it's not healthy. It's really not good for you. I plan on doing a review on that once I've used it a little bit longer. So look forward to that. And what that is a filter. So if we go over to this side here, this is the front of it. So when it runs, it's sucking in air through that blue filter there. There's also a 1 micron filter behind that catches all that fine dust. If you guys don't know, if you guys are just getting into woodworking, having something that can clean out the air is actually really good for several reasons. One, health. You don't want to be breathing in that fine dust, the stuff that you can't even really see in the air. But if you look through a room that's full of it, it just looks hazy. It looks like smoke almost. That's the really bad stuff. The bigger stuff, surprisingly, it's not that bad. You know, it gets kind of filtered out a bit, but it's the super fine stuff can actually get into your bloodstream through your lungs as you're breathing it in. I always wear a mask. Where's my mask? I have this old mask. Look how disgusting this thing is. So this is my main mask right now that I've been wearing. I'm gonna probably get a new one soon, just because like it's pretty gross looking. It's all like sweat and wood dust mixed in, but that thing filters real good. Like it's supposed to filter out even like gases and stuff like that. I think I have another one inside that's cleaner. That's just the only one that I found when I started working recently. But yeah, so that's what that guy does. That's a filter. So I basically right now I have it set to auto. So it's just kind of sucking in air slowly. Actually right now I turned it off because it was making too much noise for the video. So I didn't want it on. But it does have a sensor that tends to turn on, and I've been experimenting with it to see if it actually works. Pretty much within like a minute of me starting to throw up dust, it will kick up higher. So it'll crank up its basically suction if it senses that there's more dust in the air. There's actually a little, right there, there's a little sensor right there, and that's what reads the air quality, I guess. I do have to get an air quality monitor for in here just to make sure. I'm getting older, and the older I get, the more I care about my health, because I'm realizing how bad things were before and how unhealthy I was when it comes to woodworking. So yeah, the other thing I got for the shop is I have a really crappy little Harbor Freight dust collector here. That's what this guy is. Very like cheap. I've had it for a long time. I used to have the bag filter on it before, and it's really bad. Like that was the main reason that I had so much dust in the shop before, in the room that I was working out of before. Basically the walls got covered in dust. Everything was, I'm like, oh, I got my dust collector, I should be good. If you have a bag on your dust collector, it's not doing anything. It's blasting out. A lot of those bags are like 5 micron. So they're blasting out all of the little particles. You know, you're gonna catch all the big chunks of wood and stuff, but no fine, dangerous particles. Those are not getting captured. So investing in a good filter is good. This is the Wen environmental filter. with the closed top, and it just kind of retrofits into the Harbor Freight one, and pretty much any other style that is similar to this. There's a jet one as well. It's a little bit pricier. You just got to drill a couple holes right there, all the way around, like 4 holes I think it was, and then it just like slaps on, tightens down. There's a big old gasket. If you guys want, I can tear that apart and do a review on that, I guess, or just kind of talk about it. But yeah, from this angle, the room looks so small, right? But yeah, so that's the big thing. Right now, my biggest issue is I don't have storage. I don't have any sort of places to put anything. This is really the only little desk I have set up as anything, but it is very flimsy. I don't know if you can tell that it's moving, but yeah, there it is. But it is moving, and it's flimsy. And then I have like 2 card tables over here, you know, like the ones with like the foam, like kind of foamy fake leather tops on them to, like, you know, play board games and stuff on. That's what I'm working with right now. I'm thinking about building a workbench, and but my situation's a little bit different than a traditional woodworking shop. I'm not building tables. I'm not doing. Granted, I do want to do that. I want to build some, you know, furniture. I want to try my hand at doing some actual like woodworking, I guess you could say. And not just wand making. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure to stay tuned. I'm trying to, now that I finally got the shop, I can put my spare time into working on it and doing some videos and stuff. But for now, I think my main goal is gonna just be storage. Besides, today, I'm gonna probably be making some wands. That's the plan. I'm just kind of doing this little video to show you guys something. If this comes out before Wednesday of this week, there should be a Wands Day coming out this Wednesday. I'm hoping to finish up today, edit this video, and then put out a Wands Day probably on Tuesday, record it on Tuesday. I know I'm telling you guys all this. You guys probably don't really care about that. The you know, the work behind it. You just kind of want to see probably the videos. But yeah, like, let me show you my little setup here, I guess. So this is the main work area. So we got the main sander here, just a little baby sander, scroll saw that I haven't used in a while, and then my crappy little band saw over there just to break stuff down. But as you can see, like most of the wands I make, I don't have a lot of crazy tools. A lot of it is using like a rotary tool to get all the fine work done and stuff. And then I have my lathe over here. So this is, I don't use the lathe often, but when I do, I got this big boy over here. My main issue that I'm having right now is, not issue, but just dust collection, right? Usually if I'm using the rotary tool, I'll be using that guy right there for just trying to absorb a lot more of that dust. Absorb, that's a weird way to put it. Also, I don't have a chair in here or anything, so this is my chair that I've been using. So I'm just like super not fully ready yet, not fully established in here. But the goal, I think I mentioned this, or I started to mention it and then I didn't. I think I'm gonna just get some cheap like metal shelves to just store things in now as I start building out the shop more, with maybe some permanent shelves on the wall and stuff. If you guys have any ideas, leave them down below. Link a video to you know, somebody else that built something that you think I should try to emulate or copy. Anything like that. Like I'm willing to take suggestions. I don't really have an exact plan yet. So whatever you guys suggest, I will definitely look into and try it out and see if I could do it. It may be out of my skill range though, so we'll see. And then also I have a ton of outlets, so I always have to think about where those are gonna go. I think the main storage wall is gonna be here because that is not the shortest wall, but it has the door on it and it has you know, the switches and stuff. So I'm thinking this wall will be mostly storage. Obviously I can't use that little corner there. I can't use that little corner for much. I do plan on putting a thing to prevent the door from opening all the way, but pretty much that side I'm thinking about doing mostly storage, and then this side will be more of the tools and stuff. I kind of want to keep the center clean-ish, but I'm willing to possibly, you know, put a bench there. I want things to be movable, so if I make a workbench, I'll probably put some sort of casters on it that will most likely lock, but that's the idea right now. So I'm gonna get into to working on some wands. I printed out, this is usually what I do. So you guys may know that we do the Friday live stream, and then occasionally I draw wands on there and I have you guys vote on them. And then usually what happens is I'll print them out, and I printed out a couple of the ones that I've done that I haven't actually made all of them yet. And then I'll print them out, and then I'll just kind of sit down, look through them. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start with this one, then I'll work on this one a little bit, and then that's kind of how I do my day of wand making is that. And then the other day, yesterday actually, we drew these here, and number 3 there was the voted the most liked, I guess, from everybody on the stream. So I'm probably gonna try to make that one today, and a couple of other ones that I've printed out here, if I can. I probably won't make them, I will start them, because wands, for me at least, I don't make multiple in a day. I'll start multiple, then it takes another couple days to finish them off. Sometimes I can get 1, maybe 2 done in one day if they're a more simple design, but usually I'll get them like 90% of the way done. And then when I'm at 100, I always talk about this, I always need that like extra 10%. I always feel like it can do of a little bit of improvement. And then sometimes I end up even changing the design completely, because I'm just not feeling this as much as I thought I was. I'll probably give you guys a little sneak peek of what I got done so far today in a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get some work done. It's already late. It's 9:30. I had to help Meek with something this morning, so I got in here kind of late. But yeah, it's 9:30 now, and let's get some wands done making. Let's get some wand making done. I like that one. Yeah. This is what I've done so far, which is practically nothing. I just basically decided on all the woods that we're gonna use for the current wands that I'm gonna attempt to make. And now we're gonna start to rough things out. This is usually what I do, which I'm sure others do the same thing. So usually what I'll do is I'll draw out the rough shape of it on the wand, or on the wood itself, right? This is some mahogany here, which we all know mahogany is super resistant to magic, and that is not a fact. That's not wand lore. That is just something that my D&D group and I made up at some point, and it's just a dumb little joke from us, and there's only like 2 people that will understand that. But I just explained it, so I guess now you guys understand. Anyway, we got some roughed out. We got 2 that are gonna be going on the lathe, so I tried to make them as square as possible. And then we have the rest that are gonna be cut out on the bandsaw, which, man, I need a new blade on that thing. That thing is like rough. Like, it does not wanna cut. I got this big chunky one here I gotta cut too, and that's gonna be pretty rough. But that's the next step, is roughing everything out, and then starting to fine tune everything after that. So I'm probably gonna start on the bandsaw and then work my way to the lathe for the other 2, those skinny ones I showed you. Yeah. Okay, so here we have all of the blanks, kind of. So these are the rough outs that we're gonna be sanding now to get it into more of a, you know, the actual shape that we're going for. This one right here is gonna be pretty interesting because it has this big bulbousy piece here. So I left it nice and big, but there's a lot going on there. So we'll see how it all turns out, and yeah, let's get back to work. In the next video, I will most likely be doing more in-depth. Right now, I just want to try to get some wands made And if I do a lot of recording, it takes a lot longer. So therefore, not a lot of recording in this one, just mostly some little quick overviews of what's going on. And yeah, so let me get back to work, and then I'll kind of show you guys what I ended up doing today. And what time is it now? It's 11:30, so it's been 2 hours since I started. So making some good progress, right? I think so, pretty good. All right, so here's what we got so far. It's very sparse when it comes to detail, except for this one here that's a little bit ahead of the other ones. And then obviously these two are just blanks. I'm gonna actually be using the lathe right now to start cooking those up. And the rest all will need to have more detail added to them. And they're pretty much all, I would say they're a little bit further, right? So they're kind of like in the mid stage right now, maybe 50% done. And the only thing that's left now is I'm gonna do these two blanks here on the lathe, and then I'm gonna go back and start carving them out further to be more in line with, this one's almost done practically. It just needs a couple little details. Maybe it's like 90% done, I would say at this point. And then, I don't know, this one looks really weird. It's just a super simple shape, but hopefully you guys will understand why I did that later on. Well, I guess I could explain it now. So the main reason I made it so fat is because this one's gonna be a ribbon style. So I wanna have enough basically mass there to carve out more. So if I made it skinny like this, it won't give me a lot to carve, and the ribbon will be very tight. I want this ribbon to kind of wrap around and then, fade into the top. And then most likely this will end up being a little bit thinner at the end. This right here, you can see it's all frayed and stuff, kind of looks like feathery. That's gonna be blunted down a bit so that it's not that sharp. Right now it's very sharp. So that'll change a bit as we go. This just looks like a handle for like an axe handle or something, which is kind of what I was going for. And most likely this will be a part of another wand. I believe it's gonna be this one. So this is gonna be the blade for it. And then this is the handle. I just need to also figure out if this handle is gonna be smaller, because that is extremely long if I were to do that. But I do have to most likely embed that inside here. So we'll probably lose a little bit of that as well. But that's still a little on the long side. So yeah, so we got a little bit of work to do still, but that's where we're at. So yeah. All right, guys. So it's it's been a little while. It's about 5:30 right now. We got most of them here. I haven't made a lot of progress on most of these. There's a couple here that I made some progress on. Obviously, you guys have already seen that one. This is one of the ones that we did on the lathe. It has that like classic-y design. Still a couple little things that we got to do. The end of it is actually, the blade here is actually flattened out so that it kind of adds into this, and we get a kind of the same feel on both ends. What else we got? This one is really starting to look like a mushroom, like for sure a mushroom. I am gonna add a couple of details here on I guess the mushroom head a little bit more, and I think that's gonna make it look pretty good. But a lot of these, we for the most part just smoothen them out until I go in. This one's gonna get a lot of those little spots and holes, most likely on this end here, and then on this little bulbousy part as well. Remember the one I talked about that I said was really big and bulky? This is what it ended up turning out looking like. This is the ribbon one I was talking about. Again, still have a lot of work to do on all of these. Some of them are, 50% done still. Some of them are a little bit further, but none of them are really, really done. Even this one, which for the most part is done, there's still a little bit more sanding to get rid of some of these little fuzzies that were carved out. And yeah, but it's 5:30, so I'm gonna head inside for the day and make some food and stuff and call it a day. But hopefully the next video is a full wands day where I'll have hopefully like 8 or 9 wands to show you guys. That's what I'm gonna do for the next few days to try to finish these up. And this is kind of just like a little teaser, a experiment to see how I'm gonna record this stuff. Again, I still gotta do a lot of storage stuff here. It's been a mess, even trying to find certain tools. I don't know where most things are. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to like the video if you liked it and subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know which one of these you think is gonna look the coolest and just try to describe it as best you can. And I usually respond to most of the comments if they acknowledge like a conversation, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.